Aquarius workshop, Humbly Accepting Imperfection. I start with a quote from Pathwork Lecture 234 with the title, Perfection, Immortality, Omnipotence. And the quote is as follows. By accepting humbly your limitations, your imperfect state, and looking at it creatively, constructively, and specifically, so as to understand and make connections, it is already a manifestation of the Godhead within. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 234. Connected to the true self, we are happy and able to make others happy. However, the emotionally immature part of us believes, consciously or unconsciously, that we can only enjoy ourselves, others, and life if everything is perfect, and therefore proudly and self-willed demands perfection. This immature part hides behind an idealized self-image for protection. Although we understand intellectually that there is no perfection on earth, that emotionally immature part does not know this yet. To the extent that we shy away from and fight against imperfection on an emotional level, we are alienated from ourselves. Then we are slaves to our imperfection and to the imperfection around us. The arrogant refusal to accept imperfection creates destructive energy in the form of rebellion, resentment, frustration, unfulfillment, confusion, and great inner conflict, because our demands are incompatible with the truth and reality of this earthly world. This aversion to imperfection, which is accompanied by impatience, rigidity, intolerance, and shame, forms a solid wall that makes inner growth and change impossible. With this perfectionist attitude, we deny ourselves a joyful life. On this path of self-development to become an Aquarian person, we will discover that the ability to be happy and to grow internally depends on the ability to humbly accept imperfection in and around us, and to flow relaxedly with life. Letting go of the perfectionist idealized self-image and accepting that we are one of many people on earth, just as imperfect as everyone else, is proof that we have matured emotionally and re-established contact with the true self. It takes a lot of time for self-examination and complete honesty with ourselves to gain this insight. In this workshop you will explore, with a love and curiosity, 3 themes of the Pathwork Lectures regarding the humble acceptance of imperfection. The first theme, accepting imperfection in others. We unconsciously see every imperfection as evidence of inferiority, and we are afraid of this intolerant and hostile attitude. We project that hostility and are therefore intolerant towards the imperfection of others, which then provokes hostility. Every frustration is a signal that we do not accept ourselves. When we have the willingness to examine each frustration, we use it to learn humble self-acceptance. The next quote stems from Pathwork Lecture 33. The more serene you remain in the face of other people's faults, the more you have accepted yourself as you are, and thus have a healthy basis in your soul, no matter how many imperfections there still are in you. But the more you fight inwardly against other people as they happen to be presently, the more you are not really accepting yourself. End of quote from Pathwork Lectures 33. The second theme, becoming an emotionally mature person. We suffer when we do not receive approval and we do not dare to admit even the smallest mistake because it affects the idealized self-image. This idealized self-image covers unconscious and repressed pain about imperfection, and we project that pain onto the outside world. When we realize this immaturity and confront hostile, compulsive reactions and feelings towards others, this hostility disappears and we no longer provoke others. The next quote stems from Pathwork Lecture 73. Once you accept the reality of your imperfect self, the resulting hurts will no longer be so serious and tragic. You will accept them as a consequence of your accepted imperfections, which you can now observe calmly while gaining more understanding about them and thus nearing perfection and maturity. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 73. The third and last theme, letting go of perfectionism. To the extent that we unconsciously demand perfection and do not accept imperfection, there is self-alienation through perfectionism. This causes frustration because this forcing demand is incompatible with the truth and reality of the earth. We often find imperfect situations that are unchangeable because we don't see what we can and cannot change. When we face ourselves and take responsibility for making different choices, that mature attitude will make us happy. The last quote stems from Pathwork Lecture 97. Only in accepting your own imperfection can you begin to grow and experience the joy from your own individuality. All this is so because your demands are incompatible with reality as you know it. However, since most of the time you are not even aware of what you miss, of that which in your own perfection falls short of the perfection you look for, that you think you should or could have, that fact makes it impossible for you to grow sufficiently to be capable of accepting imperfection. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 97. I wish you peace and all the best. Thank you.